an excuse already. Your coach gone, so y'all gonna lose. You know what? Now we're gonna win this game. We're gonna win this game. Get that in your heart. Get it in your heart, we're gonna win this game. Let me see your eyes. Get it in your heart, we're gonna win this game. We're not coming off the field without a win. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win.
Okay, hello and welcome to Voice of the Box. I've got the pleasure of Kevin Lynch joining me this afternoon. First of all, Kevin, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your time to join me. You know, instead of me explaining who you are and what you do, why don't you just summarize your role? I want to say with the Chronicle, but I know you do a lot of other things. So how would you first start us off by telling us what you've been doing and how long you've been doing it?
Well, I've been covering the 49ers for, I don't know, 4 or 5 different publications since '88. And now my role is being on sfgate.com online. I'm the 49ers insider. So
that's why we have him.
That's right, that's right. So I do a lot of blogging. Still go down there to Santa Clara quite a bit. I'm at every home game. So I do a lot of blogging during the game. So it's a different role. It's kind of I kind of like it because I get a little more opinion in there, and I sort of like the blog format.
Now, tell me if I'm accurate. I did try to do a little fact checking before we do this interview.
Yes.
Let's see how high tech we are here. 19 years you've been involved with the NFL in some shape, way, or form. Is that true?
Actually, it's more like 21.
Fact check was not right. Okay,
started in
1988. Well, better yet, from that body of experience, obviously the game has changed, but more importantly, your role as a writer and the way that you get your news out has changed. You know, what I like to do here on Voice of the Box is not only get your role and get your background, but really try to turn that over to students as to what kind of career tips for people that are looking to break into jobs in sports. Being a writer, you know, there's just so much that's changed with the way information is put out there.
Right.
What kind of advice was given to you over the years that either, you know, you still cling to, and more importantly, that you'd pass on to someone else that maybe wants to combine their skill, their writing skill, into a career in sports?
Well, I think you know, I think I'm a perfect example. I started out as a print journalist and did that for a number of years. But now, as you say, the business has changed so much that really you have to be versed in radio, television, and any way you can come up with a multimedia idea, you're going to be far ahead. And I think the other thing, if you're covering a specific sport, is really to know that sport. Because that way you have the discourse with the people, with the players, with the coaches, with management. So, and football is a great sport in that way because it's so complex and there's so much you can learn about it from year to year. You know, I've been covering it for 21 years. I'm sure I'll learn something new next year. So that's really the two things I would say: is know your sport and be versed in the different medias.
Now, again,
mediums.
Gotcha. Now, just because some people may not know, they obviously pick up the paper or they go online and they read your stories. People may not know what your game day is like, or what, you know, what deadlines are like. You know, especially if you travel with the team and you're on an East Coast game, you got to get your story back. Fill me in terms of what your game day is like, what time you get here, what you do throughout the game, post game. People that may just not know what that's like.
Right. Well, you know, when I was covering the team for the newspaper, I would get here a couple hours before the game, go down to the field, try to talk to some opposing coaches or opposing management. Sometimes a lot of the 49ers management and ownership is down on the field, so you know, you do a little pre-work, see how the 49ers are going to play in that game. You know, can you get a little insight on what the game plan is, and then after the game, you know, you're doing your interviews and then you're getting your story out as quickly as possible. And you have usually as a beat writer, you have a lot to write. You have game stories, you have a sidebar, you have notes. So there's a lot of information to disseminate. As in my role now, it's much more immediate. I'm writing after every series, and blogging, saying, hey, seeing what I can see. Hey, is this 3-4 working? You know, maybe they should go nickel here. You know, is David Boss having trouble at right guard? Should they make a change? Should they help him? You know, those types of things. I try to get, you know, sort of an insider's view of how the game is being played out, pretty much minute to minute.
Gotcha. Now, 21 years, that's a great run. And I'm not saying the run has stopped, but it's a great run, and we're going to continue that run. What keeps you coming back? Hold on. I'm going to take that back. First, I'm going to ask not the negative side, but more of the. What are some of your challenges? Let me ask that first, because we like to finish with the positive. But challenges in what you do in terms of your role.
Well, I mean, the challenge today is keeping your job. because there's so much, there's so many changes, and newspapers are having such trouble.
Right.
You know, jobs are being eliminated almost daily in journalism. So that's why I say it's so important to keep up with, you know, having a radio personality, having a television personality, being good in those mediums, and then also keeping the writing side going. So those are really the challenges today, and also being keeping up with technology.
Sure.
You know, with the tweets, with all that stuff.
Right.
A lot of this business now is who gets it out fastest and what technology you use.
Absolutely.
So that's another challenge, because, as I say, it's minute to minute now.
And then on the flip side of that, 21 years within the NFL, what keeps you coming back?
Well, I really enjoy, you know, the game. I really enjoy game day. I really enjoy the game itself. I think it's a great game. The personalities, the people, I think are tremendous. I'm really, I have a lot of admiration for what the players do on the field, and how they are able to manage their lives and manage, you know, their families and manage the whole situation. And of course, there's so much that goes on, and you know, you see that 97–98% of players handle themselves so well.
Right.
And that's really not publicized, because it's not juicy. It's not, you know, Tiger Woods and a 7-iron and his wife and fighting and all that stuff. That seems to grab so much more attention. So, and I think it's exciting how sports has evolved, even sociologically. You know, how we relate to each other through sports, and how sports is an indicator of the sort of larger society. So I think that's what keeps me coming back.
I wonder if it'd be juicy to maybe do a story about what the media does every day. That could be, instead of you saying you're so interested about the players. Anyway, that's another story for another time. First of all, thanks, Kevin, for taking the time to Voice of the Box. Want to do a special thank you to our cameraman today, Michael Eiselman. If you want to know what's going on inside the NFL and the 49ers, Kevin Lynch, SF.com. Thanks again, Kevin.
You bet.